Coach, how important right now is it to potentially finish off 18-0 in the conference and, get that would be the first time an ACC program has ever done that?
Well, I'm just focused on Pitt tomorrow, so that's my focus. It's the next game, the next 40 minutes. So that's what my focus is for the team and their focus.
Now, I'm curious too, does anything change this week with just a slight variation of the schedule? Obviously not playing Sunday, but instead Monday night. Does that change how you guys kind of go about things this week?
No, it actually works out perfectly. I'll probably have off Friday, 2-day prep before Duke on Monday, so it works with kind of the schedule that we normally have.
What do you feel this team is really doing well right now?
A lot of things well. I think defensively we are getting better. Individual defense and our rotations is something we've been really working on. Offensively, our pace is really good right now. I think we're doing a great job of sharing the ball, really pushing pace and playing with a lot of freedom and transition. And I feel like our defense intensity is really ramped up. We've kept the last couple opponents under their average, and that's something that's really important to me.
How much of that is attributable to people getting healthier?
Big. That's a big piece of this, having more bodies healthy. Our roster, I can go deeper in the bench, and just having available players has been a big difference. And the presence of Maddie, Liza being back has been a big difference for us.
Coming into the season, we talked a lot about how Hannah and Olivia would be playing together. Well, now this week they're getting named to these late mid-season top 20 lists. What does that kind of say about how they've learned to play together on the court?
It says a lot. I'm appreciative that they're getting the respect that they deserve. They've been having a fantastic season, both of them making an impact individually and the impact that they're making on our team. So it speaks volumes to have those type of awards and be named on those type of lists.
As you look at this, you've got I know you're focused on Pitt, but you've got a stretch coming up over the next 2 weeks with big game after big game after big game. Just how do you kind of manage the overall workload for the girls and make sure that you can get them to peak each time?
Yeah, that's always the goal, to continue getting better, and I still think there's areas for us to improve. So that's great going into this tough stretch in February, and just trying to take it day by day, practice by practice, a lot of film, a lot of individual work, and just trying to get better every day. And that's been our focus all season. And I work with an incredible group, incredible coaching staff that has done a great job of making sure that we're staying present.
Couple games in a row now, you guys have won by a pretty large margin, which I know you're not going to complain about. What do you guys do in practice to simulate late game situations that you haven't really been in a while?
Yeah, that's something I've been working on for the past 5 years. I'm always trying to end practice with different scenarios, if either that's a defensive scenario or being up 2, down 3, whatever the case may be, so they know what we're going to do if it happens in the game.
Do you worry at all about their confidence in those situations? Just because when you're in it and you win, it breeds more confidence, but they just haven't been in it a lot.
Yeah, we were in it earlier, especially the big one with Texas at home. The game completely changed in the matter of 3 seconds, and this team is experienced. Even Hannah, being a sophomore, she's been in these moments. So I kind of go off a feel. They all know that any person on this team can step up and be that go-to player for us, so we'll be prepared.
What do you think it says about both of your point guards that they're both able to get on this mid-season Player of the Year list? Hard to do when there's another one on the team.
It's huge. I'm proud. I say it all the time, but I feel like I'm a mom sometimes just to see, the accolades that they're receiving. But they put in the work. You look at Liv having to sit out for so long, and this year just exploding on the scene and getting the respect. So I'm super grateful for everybody that voted for them, and it's a small piece of the success of our entire group. But it's also nice just to have that reward of being named with some of the best in the country.
You mentioned being a mom. Your son gets his jersey retired on Friday.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
I'm so excited. I'm so happy that I'm going to be here. It's a big deal. Marion has been so good to Jaden and our family, and for them to acknowledge and honor him in that way is going to be monumental. He gets a chance to leave his legacy in that high school, that arena, and gymnasium. So I'm really grateful for this moment.
Now back to your team. What does concern you about Pitt tomorrow night?
Yeah, they played well at home. It was a really tough game at Pitt last year. And, we have to come in with that same mindset, focus, locked in. They have great guard play, and they have great post play. So we have to make sure that we're prepared for 40 minutes against the battle against them.
Helps that you stole one of their best players.
Yes, helps that Lee, too, has our jersey on her back this time around. She gave us an incredible game last season. So excited to bring her back to a familiar area. And, again, happy to have her with our team this time.
How's her face feeling?
She feels good. She's tough, so the mask is really helping. She's a physical player, so I'm just always praying for health for her.
we're probably not going to get a chance to talk to you before you play Duke.
Okay.
So I did want to ask about that. And when you look at the standings right now, it's you guys, it's NC State, it's them, and it's right there. Just
Yeah.
because of that, how important is that game?
I think every game's super important. Duke is playing really great basketball this season, and that's going to be a great, huge matchup for us. They're really great defensively. It's going to be really physical. They have great forward play. So, again, just a battle in the ACC. It's going to be tough. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, other than the skill, what is maybe one thing that's helped this team not just be really good, but great so far this year?
I think the love that we have for each other. I think it shows the chemistry that we've built. They're really trusting each other. So that buy-in, commitment, and that trust, I think, is a layer of it that I think is really special. And this team wants to play for each other, and I'm grateful that they play for me.
Well, first of all, congratulations on making all these watch lists and awards lists. What does that mean to you?
It's a blessing to be able to kind of be on the high like that, for people to be able to recognize me and my talent, and for people to be able to recognize what God has put in me.
When you look at this team right now, what do you think this team is doing? And obviously, it's doing a lot of things well. What is it doing best?
Honestly, I think our chemistry looks really good. I think that our offense is great. I think our defense is starting to look a lot better. I think that's kind of what we need to hone into more, and that's when we're going to be able to look great. I don't even think we've reached our max potential yet. I think we're still trying to get the flow of things and kind of playing together, but I think our defense is looking better and better.
Was that hindered somewhat because of health issues with not just yourself, but a lot of other people?
Yeah, absolutely. Even just from last year, just dealing with a lot of injuries and a lot of adversity, but being able to have everyone back now that we're going to have for the whole season is spectacular.
Now that we're in the home stretch of this regular season, how much is it talked about between the team about going 18-0 potentially in the ACC, being the first team to ever do that in league play?
Yeah, honestly, we're taking it game by game, day by day, because these ACC teams they're tough, and so we don't want to take any game for granted. But honestly, that's the goal, to go 18-0 and to win the ACC championship. But we're focusing game by game.
Being number 2 in the country, was that cool when the numbers switched this week?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's honestly always great to be high in the rankings like that. But we're exciting. Rankings don't mean anything, because at the end of the day, everybody can be beat.
You kind of talked about getting these award nominations on these lists. What does it mean to be on there with Olivia on a lot of these as well?
Yeah, I think it just speaks to the talent that we have on our team, just with me and Liv. Sony's on watch list, Maddie's on watch list. So it just speaks to kind of how dynamic we are and how dangerous we are.
How much different is it now that Maddie's back and playing full time?
Yeah, Maddie takes a lot of attention. Just her ability to do so many different things, whether she's screening and rolling or screening and popping. She's a big guard, essentially. So it's hard to guard, and it's so much more dangerous.
I thought in the first half the other day, you guys were as balanced as I have seen you maybe all year. You had 8 people in the scoring column. Maddie had 9 to lead you. Is that kind of what the goal is, to get that kind of balance, or does it matter?
Honestly, the end goal is to win, and so whether that's everyone scoring or if that's just 5 people scoring, 6 people, honestly, it doesn't matter who scores as long as we're winning.
How much fun do you have when you're playing? Because from our vantage point, it looks like on game days, you're the happiest person in the building.
Yeah, I kind of go out with that mindset. It's honestly just a blessing to be able to play the game of basketball. So I kind of don't take the game for granted. I go out and play with joy, because ultimately every game could be my last game. So just going out and just being grateful that I'm able to play.
I know that Liv has a kind of a new appreciation for the ability to be out there. Do you pick up on some of that too? Where you haven't gone through what she has, but an understanding that it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, I think everybody that has gone through injury kind of knows that they don't take the game for granted once they come back, and they're really appreciative of the ability to play the game. And so just kind of seeing Liv's work ethic all throughout the summer and how she was able to come back just 10 times better than when she went out injured is honestly inspiring.
Obviously, nice to have Leah too on your side versus
Absolutely.
Opposite side
Yeah.
this week against Pitt. How important is it to you guys to get this one for her?
Yeah, I think every win is important, but I think too, once this one really bad, especially, being able to go back home and play against her people ultimately. So, it's going to be exciting to get the dub this week.
And then when you guys come back on Monday, another really big game, 2 of the top 3 teams in the standings, just how important is is that one with Duke.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Honestly, it's gonna be sold out. Duke, they're a phenomenal defensive team, and so it's gonna be really tough going against their defense. And we're gonna have to go up against them, and that's gonna be tough because they're really aggressive. So I'm excited. It's gonna be fun, but we're gonna come out and we're gonna do our thing.
As you guys play the top teams in the league, because there's a few games coming up, and if you're able to pick those off one at a time, like do you start to get the sense that you're getting closer and closer to taking control of the ACC?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But again, we kind of want to focus game by game. We don't want to focus on the next one. So the next game is Penn, so that's what we're focused on.
Where do you think you've improved your individual game the most this season?
I think the 3-point, definitely. I know it's definitely improved from last year. That for sure. And my left hand. That was a lot of work. I worked a lot on my left hand and my 3-point shot all summer. So just being able to go out and play and see the work, being able to kind of be on display, honestly, is tremendous.
That's the thing. When you talk to younger players, high school players, or middle schoolers that look up to you, what do you emphasize about the work ethic and what it takes to succeed at this level?
Yeah, honestly, I think the biggest thing is hard work pays off. If you're in the gym, if you're putting in those hours that no one else is putting in, you're going to see the results. And I think it's just a matter of being confident and knowing that you went out, you put in the work, and now it's time to put it on display. But you have to put in the work. You can't just come out and play because hard work beats talent.